Okay, welcome to part 2 of the heroic dose trip. Before we get started, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Sending out a lot of love your way. But just like a disclaimer, I want to say in the beginning, don't do drugs, and if you come across doing any of them, just be completely safe. I'd rather say something more realistically than saying don't do them. Don't do them. What I will say, for video purposes, don't do them. But if you come across, just be safe. Don't go into peer pressure. But I do them purely for plant medicine benefits, and they've been proven to help you, and that's why they're banned. But that's a question. That's not a question. That is a topic and a whole battle for another day that no one's trying to battle right now. So we're in part 2. Part 1 was already getting fucking crazy. So if you thought that was nuts and how I was connecting this shit with Chris Brown and all that shit, no. This shit gets even more wild. So then after all that shit happens, I start telling my bro, I'm like, yo, what is going on right now? Like, I'm sensing like so much shit. And like when you look at the music video, oh my gosh, the music videos, I couldn't even explain this. So Khaled came on when shit started getting intense. And it was like, this one song by him. But he did this one, you know how Khaled moves in his videos and he moves all kind of like this and shit? On the trip, it was almost like I understood what he was doing. My bro's over here sitting, acting like this shit is all normal. He's like, yep, you're being like, hey, we're back here. You're realizing what's going on. And I'm over here like this. What the fuck? Like, you knew this? Because Khaled's movements made sense. It was like I would look at the screen and then Khaled would nod. And then I'd be like, what the fuck is going on? And it was like we were all connected. Like we were connected through the waves. And even that, like when he was doing the movements, it was nuts because, oh my gosh, like I can't even explain it. It was such a fucking experience that you can't even put these things. I feel like what that was experiencing literally what creating worlds after death is, like creating your own heaven. Like that was what it looked like. Not all the time, but that's how everything flowed. Is kind of like you were seeing, like we were witnessing above God. Like that was not God. That was truly whatever the psychedelic did. That was showing you how being the architect operates, or when you are going after a goal in your life or manifesting something, that is what it fucking looks like behind the scenes. That is the best way I can explain what this trip is like. Is it was showing us everything that's layered on top of each other to produce this reality we experience, where we just go about our days, eat, sleep, and whatever. That shit was showing you what is going on behind the scenes, and it made you appreciate shit way more. Whew, that was some fire. Can I get a like? Can I get a like for that? Can I get a like for how clean that came out? That actually made me happy. All right, now let's get into it. So that was that part, the Khaled part, and other shit got even crazier. But I don't even want to bring up the Bryson Tiller song that came on, but basically I ended up sitting on the bed with my bro. And I'm like, bro, when is this shit gonna end? Like, it's crazy. Like, I'm seeing too much. It was like I was literally experiencing everything. Everything. Would I do it again? My cousin thinks I would. My girl cousin, she thinks I would. I'm kind of saying, fuck no. I don't think I could experience this shit. Because when I tell you it pulled me, it did not allow me to sit with any bullshit. It was, all fear you got? Here, you're about to experience it. So I'm laying on the bed and I fall out. Boom. I get up and I'm back where my mom's old boyfriend abused me, where he dipped me under boiling water, and I'm sitting here experiencing it grown, not like him taking me, but I'm watching my younger self have it happen. And I was like, well, why am I seeing this? Because I dealt with it. I was like, I'm relieved of it. So what is it? And what it was doing was it was pulling me through. It was pulling me from the start to where my first ego was like created, I guess, in a sense, and pulled me through it. So it was fine. So that part had nothing to, it was just like the starting line. It was like, oh, all right, you ready for the rocket ship? It was like that. So I was like, okay, well, this is fine, because I was seeing it and I was like, yeah, that was tough. Oh my gosh, the shit that came after. So much stemmed. Like, I cannot even put this shit in words. It pulled me through. It was like seeing life on fast forward. It was like this. I'm really gonna demonstrate how this shit felt, because it was like my mind was spinning. It went like this. So I'm like this. It was like fucking vroom, 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 like vroom, vroom, fucking tapping on the keyboard, like going through it, getting dressed. It was moving so fast, and I'm like this. I'm like, bro, help. I'm like over here, like grabbing on the bed. So that part does seem a bit scary, but understand, I was okay. It was just, I wasn't letting myself go. And because that's another thing. If you don't let yourself, like, okay, my intentions already going into it, I set the intentions beforehand. I wanted answers, and not only that, I didn't let myself go to the experience. I thought that I wouldn't be able to handle it. So funny enough, my bro ended up saying that you already primed your mind that you weren't going to be able to handle it beforehand. So when it happened, now I have to face with undoing that story. So it was almost trying to get me to undo it, which I ended up doing. Finally, thank goodness, because shit was moving so fast. But anyways, so we're setting intentions, everything's spinning, everything's moving fast. Okay. So it pulled me through every memory. That's where I'll start. It pulled me through every girlfriend I've had, every like thing with it, every moment like I ever had sex. It was fucking crazy. And when they say this shit is all about emotion and literally like the universe runs on feeling and vibration, it pulled me through like the things where it was really not even love for certain situations. I was really suffering. So it was suffering. Like it pulled me through all that suffering. It's almost like this. I got the scale up still. It's almost like I was here, pure Tao and flow, and it pulled me down here so it could show me how I got up there. Like, not to say I wasn't grateful. It felt more like it was just showing me like, oh, okay, this is a better example or better explanation, is it was showing me why I should stop taking shit. Because at the time before the trip, and why I was even actually doing the psychedelics, was answers. I was like, why do I have this fear? Why am I not being myself? So it almost showed me like, look at everything you've been through. You have no reason to not be yourself. Then another thing was okay, the part about not be yourself. You have no reason to fear, and it's not real. None of this is real. Remember, it's a game. It's like we're just playing. Like, remember, it's not real. You're getting too attached to the physical. Like what you are blessed with knowing is that this is an illusion. You're knowing what the Mayans knew and all, like your Native American fucking descendancy, I was gonna say, but your Native American roots. You're seeing exactly what like the leaders of the tribe would see, or like the warrior initiation. That's what this was like, the warrior initiation. It was like, and after that, which is crazy, because after that experience, I was perfectly, I wish I could keep an ounce of what I learned on it, because if I did at the time and continue, because I think at the time I was doing videos, was I? Oh shit, maybe not. Oh, I think that shit led into me making videos. And I feel like that's why my channel was so successful beforehand. Not to say this one isn't. This one is as equally as successful, if not better. I'm saying that, for future seeds. But that other one was popping off really fast. And I think it was because I was in pure flow after that fucking tidal wave of the psychedelic. But we're 9 minutes in, so let's just get back to more stuff. So yeah, it pulled me through all my trauma, holy shit, like trauma that was healed, but it was showing me now that I decided to feel it like this because it was an amazing experience, and I would probably do it again, but probably lighter. This time I would give myself to the experience, not fucking be like, oh, I'm already nervous, because I think the nerves ended up creating what the fuck happened. Because at one point where I'm glad I got here now, where I said all the beautiful stuff part one and a lot of beautiful stuff in the beginning of this one, where I can finally now say the stuff that was like a little bit scary, which it was scary, but I also learned that pain is really in the mind, because my body had like spikes all over like it was crazy. It felt like I was getting stabbed, right? Until I realized, like my bro kept saying, remember, it's in your head, it's in your head, it's in your head. So I started being like, hold up, yeah, I need to get a hold of myself. And at one point he started laughing and we both started dying because I was like, and I went all serious and zen. I was, and then I realized that joking and that laughter got rid of the fucking pain. I was no longer scared. And I was like, oh my gosh, I did something to like my fucking neuroreceptors to where I stopped experiencing basically a bad trip, as people put it. But I feel like that's only because of meditation too. A lot of people that go in and have these bad trips aren't fucking meditating prior, so they don't even know where their mind's at. And that's not to be mean, but that's just to be honest, is they go in and think like it's a bad experience and they put that fear on other people when they talk about their shit. And it's like, no, I think it's because you don't already cultivate your mind and know your mind before you do things like this that can open your mind. Also, every trip you do and every psychedelic you do opens up your neurons, so you're open to much more creativity. So the more you do it, the more you start to get more like it's like upgrades. So what I will say is, another part that was scary was I wrapped. It wasn't me wrapping it around my head. I explained it bad. If I have a video where I already talked about it, I explained it bad. I didn't wrap the controller around my head. I was spinning on the bed because everything was spinning in what I was seeing. So I wrapped myself in the controller. But thankfully my bro took it off. And then at one point we were like, how the fuck has, like, we were laughing about like how his mom did not come in the room, because like we were like, yo, how did your mom not come in here? Because at one point I fell off the bed and I poured water all over myself, and we were laughing so fucking hard about it. But I think that was the thing, is because if there's no coincidences and we were experiencing the flow, we were meant to have that clean experience without any interruptions. Because also at certain points we heard them laughing. So again, that goes back to the thing I said, or well, not the thing I said, it's literally about energy, is that whatever is going on in your mind will start to contagiously affect the environment around you. Funny enough, we were dying and laughing at certain points, and that was the result. And I also can tell you about another funny moment. This was towards the end of it, but I'm going to explain a little bit more before I get to the end, because it's at 13 minutes. So at one point, we like, I don't know, there was some shit with the weekend, then there was some shit with fucking like these girls, then it was something with like Chris Brown again, and it was all flowing, and like it was almost like Chris Brown was fucking telling me shit, like he was trying to tell me like, hey, you need to like wake up, you need to start being yourself, you need to start really killing this shit. And funny enough, after he's been saying that, there will be times where I pop in coincidentally to his story. Let's see if I have one. Please. Yes, I have one. I'll pop in and he'll be like this.
Breezy, I love y'all. I always want to just preach this to you. Stay humble, keep your integrity, individuality, be yourself. Have the freedom to be who you want to be. And we're gonna keep shining.
Have the freedom to be who you want to be, and blah blah. And he was saying shit like this to me on the trip. And funny enough, I never watched his Instagram beforehand. So when that happened on the trip, and now like I seen it happen, it was almost like it was foreshadowing a bunch of events to happen. Also, that was another thing the trip did, so I'm trying to wrap it up here, was it foreshadowed a bunch of events that ended up happening in real life. There was a bunch of knocks and creaking happen during the trip. We felt like we were on a boat. Come to find out, months later, things that we experienced on the trip were happening in real life. Delivery people coming to the door, being downstairs, like, because the trip was almost like teleporting us all over the place. Actually, the place I'm in now, right now, I seen this on the trip. Like, my parents' house, I seen this shit on the trip, and I was like, yo, how the fuck? And it was almost showing that time is not real. It's like, it's a bit more than that, but it was almost showing like memories. I don't know. I don't really know how to say that. But then the last final thing that I'll say to wrap it up, because it would take too long to keep putting these in parts. Like, I could go on and on about the things that were experienced, but the last thing was when I went to the bathroom. This had to be one of the funniest fucking moments. I went in there and I tried to pee, and that shit was like this. Oh, also, fucking water and shit was changing like purple, green, blue. That shit was funny. Only different hues, not intensely like a fucking acid trip. No, but this is how it looked when I tried to pee. So I'm sitting here. Here's the toilet. I'm over here like this. I'm whoa, and I'm like that shit was so fucking funny. I could not. And then also, I'll save this for another video. Or no, because I don't know if anybody is gonna watch this long. I'm not saying I don't believe there will be, but I'll talk about, okay, the shape shifting thing. So when I looked in the mirror, I seen my face almost like, it looked like it had storms running through it, and if like I could see my veins, and then that's all I'll say. But I wanted to add more to that. I'll do it in another video. But all right, that's pretty much it. We'll see you in the next video, and much love if you made it to the end. If you made it to the end, drop a comment below saying end. But all right, I'll see you. Peace.